Yo, what up, guys? I'm sure you guys have heard of the Osu player named Sytho, aka Sytho. If you don't recognize that name, I'm sure you guys know him more of his popular alias, Kaniga. But this guy, Sytho, he's basically playing an Osu game. He is probably one of the best speed players in the entire world. But what I want to cover in this video is a topic about Sytho, where he's going to be quitting Osu game and coming back and forth. He is the boy who called quit. And I just want to give you guys the whole hubbub about it, just give you guys the news, what the freak happened. But basically, Sytho here, he was basically in a Reddit post where this guy said, Sytho is quitting. And he basically made a tweet and saying, guys, I'm quitting quit W, and everyone's looking at this and they're just like, bro, this guy is just gonna come back after 2 weeks. He's just completely capping. And there's also another comment thread about this where this guy is just saying some things that I'll touch on a bit. But basically, this is going on for the last couple months or so, where Sytho, he goes back and forth on, all right, guys, I'm quitting, and then he comes back, and then he's quitting, and he comes back. In terms of the timeline, when I think about it, at first, I think his first time of quitting was because he wanted to spend more time with his friends, which makes complete sense, right? Because he was playing Osu all fucking day, and he was playing like 10 hours a day. He's like, okay, I don't really got time for any of that shit. I want to spend time with my friends, which is a completely valid reason, right? And it makes a lot of sense since a lot of people, when they play Osu, they get really sucked up into it. They play Osu game all fucking day. They're going to have 10-hour Osu joking sessions like Osu 420, and they're never going to go outside, touch grass, never do anything for their lives or play Osu. So I completely understand that motivation to quit Osu game, right? I fully support that, right? And then he came back and he's like playing again. And he's like, okay, I love playing Osu game. All right. The first time it does it, okay, maybe it was just a fluke, right? Maybe he just was coming back to play Osu game and he just really missed it. It makes sense, right? But then the second time he quits, he's saying, all right, guys, I have RSI because I'm playing speed so much and now my hand is hurting like shit. So he stops playing, right? And that makes a lot of sense. If you get RSI, you should stop playing. And he didn't actually stop playing for a couple weeks, but he came back and he's saying, guys, my RSI got better. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, nice. He's back. It's all good. But then he fucking quits again. And he's saying, all right, guys, my RSI is actually hurting a bit. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little weird. Okay, so that was his third time he's saying he's quitting now. So I guess he's actually quitting for now. And he's actually going to recover his hand a bit and make things a lot better. And then a couple weeks later, he comes back to the fucking game again. He's like, all right, guys, my hand's actually getting a little better now. And he's playing again, playing the maps, doing some mapping here and there, getting active in the OZ community. And I'm just thinking, bro, what the fuck is this circle jerk of a quitting and coming back cycle? And eventually, when he came back, he fucking quits again. Now I don't know what cycle it is now at this point. This is probably the new game plus of the cycle of Osu game Sytho quitting, but he's basically saying quit W here. And I just see this and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? And I just wanted to read you guys this comment where this person basically said, crazy that people still take this bait. Bro announces the break, quitter come back on a weekly basis and has a severe lack of self-control. I just think it's funny, but he should really take his health seriously instead of making a clown out of himself over these useless announcements and not sticking to them. And I just want to say that I completely agree with this comment here where Sytho, he has no fucking self-control over he's gonna quit or not, and then he comes back because this is now like the 10th time that he's quitting. I don't know how many fucking times he's quit the Osu game for real, but if you were going to say they're going to quit or take a break for a little bit and then come back, okay, that makes complete sense, right? Because as they say in Osu game, when you quit the game, they say, see you fucking next time. So you're always going to come back, right? But just to say that you're going to quit forever and have these permanent cutaways from OZ game, you're like, guys, I'm quitting forever, bye. And then you keep coming back and breaking that promise. It's a little weird to me. And I just want to say here, man, Sytho, have some fucking self-control, get a grip over your situation, analyze, okay, do I want to keep playing the game? Do I want to come back or should I completely quit forever? And if I was Sytho, right, and I were to analyze the situation, Sytho, for the last couple of years, his brand and his identity is on Osu game. So a big part of his life is Osu game, and for him to cut away that part from his life is going to give him a bit of an identity crisis. He's gonna be like, what the fuck do I do next, right? Because his purpose for the last couple of years has been Osu game. Maybe there's some other things, maybe he actually wants to live a normalized life, but for the most part, it's Osu game here. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense for him to completely cut himself away from Osu game game and make these big ass decisions. Guys, I'm quitting the Osu game because it doesn't make sense for his identity, for his level, right? Like even me, for example, I have some moments where like, oh, I don't really align with this community anymore, or maybe I should quit the game. Like I fucking love the Osu game. I still like it a lot. The community is a little weird to me, but I play Osu game here and there, and I keep coming back to it, even though a lot of times I also am like, okay, maybe I want to quit W, but at this point, Osu actually has become a little bit of a part of my life, so I might as well contribute to that aspect and not actually cut myself away forever. So in Sytho's case, he's a lot more popular than me, and he's actually been in the game a lot more. He's higher ranked, and he's actually has a bit more skin in the game. So it makes complete sense for him to actually have a longing to come back to Osu game here. And I just look at the situation, and I'm just thinking, bro, you could at least just say you're gonna take a break. You don't have to make a permanent, indefinite quit. You're just, I'm quitting forever. You don't have to make these messages back and forth, because over time your audience and all the people that support you are gonna be like, what the fuck, man? I can't trust this guy anymore because he keeps breaking his promise and he's going back and forth. It doesn't really help you as a brand, where they don't really trust you anymore since you keep going back and forth on your promises here. So that aspect is pretty fucking weird. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the Sytho situation. And perhaps I'm not the person to give the best criticism. Maybe I'm not the person, the angel, to give my judgment across all, give my revelations, because as you guys can see from me in Osu game, I did say about a couple months ago, I think it was like 2 months ago, I'm quitting. But I wasn't saying that I was going to quit forever. To be fair, I did say I was going to quit for a little bit, maybe a few months, for a few years. But it ended up being the smallest spectrum, where I actually came back to playing Osu game like a couple of days ago. And it was mainly because I had to lock in for a few months, and it was to make my circumstances better. I'm not going to go in super specifics, but I did lock in, work super fucking hard. And now I'm at a situation where the opportunity cost of me playing Osu is not as high as it used to be. So it's a lot better now. So I can actually afford playing some Osu here and there. So that's why I'm playing Osu here and there, and I'm bringing a little bit of that fun back into my life. That is my own personal reasons, right? So that period of few months to few years actually became a lot shorter. So perhaps that aspect there, yeah, maybe I broke my promise in a way, but not really, because I did say I was taking a little break. I was going to come back eventually. And then there's also me making these Osu YouTube videos where, okay, I'm going to make them every so often. Maybe I made the promises, guys, I'm going to stop making the Osu videos, or I'm going to come back. Yeah, maybe there's those aspects as well, but it's a bit difficult for me to fully deliver on those, because posting daily on a YouTube channel while also working 12 hours a day on some other shit is super fucking hard, by the way. So that, I'm not trying to give excuses for myself. I'm just trying to say what it is, and that perhaps I'm not the person to be giving the most judgment over Sytho's character here, but I've always done my best to be authentic and to say what the fuck is going on for my personal situation, and I'll always do my best to deliver on my promises here. And in terms of me making Osu YouTube videos, I'm just going to make as many as I can. And in terms of me finding these topics to talk about, so for example, the Sytho situation here, this is something I'm a little passionate about, and I want to talk about it. Maybe some motherfuckers are like, yo, why are you even talking about this, bro? Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck, man. I'm going to say it anyways, because I have some things I want to say about the situation, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Some people are just doing this so weirdly. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. I just want to talk about Sytho, the boy who called quit. And yeah, I'll see you guys.